Hello, this is Alberto Herrera. The genre I'll be discussing in this video is fantasy musicals, particularly the ones that are animated. Now, I am normally against calling something that's animated a genre because animation is a medium that can tell a story in any genre you want, but I wanted to focus on animated fantasy musicals here because certain tropes feel exclusive to the animation medium. So for those unaware, the first animated feature film produced in the West is Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, released in 1937. It is an impactful and important film to both film and animation history, not only because of its expert storytelling in animation, but also because of how it created a successful formula. Snow White is part of the fantasy musical genre, which has been a go-to genre for Walt Disney Animation Studios, including such hit films as Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Tangled, Frozen, Encanto, and the upcoming 2023 film Wish. Even other studios in the West have attempted to replicate Disney's success in this genre, which includes films like All Dogs Go to Heaven, Anastasia, The Swan Princess, Quest for Camelot, and The King and I. A fantasy musical is a combination of the fantasy and musical film genres. You have the type of magic and awe that comes from fantasy stories mixed with the big and catchy music numbers of the musical genre. The 5 movies I will use as examples are Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, The Swan Princess, and Anastasia. One common trope in this genre of fantasy musicals is having the protagonist sing an I want musical number. During this number, the protagonist of the story sings about wanting to leave their normal way of living so that they can go explore the bigger world that awaits them. This helps the audience connect with the main character since feeling like a regular person who wants to feel special is relatable. The musical number is also good at setting up their hero's journey arc. Let's look at these 5 movies for examples. In Snow White, we have the song I'm Wishing, where the titular character Snow White wishes in the wealth for the one that she loves to come. In The Little Mermaid, we have Part of Your World, where the protagonist Ariel sings about wanting to be with the humans on land instead of staying in the ocean. In Beauty and the Beast, we have the reprise version of the song Belle, where its protagonist Belle sings about wanting to get out of her typical provincial life and go on an adventure outside of her own town. In The Swan Princess, we have the number Far Longer Than Forever. In Anastasia, we have Journey to the Past. Each of these songs does a good job of getting the audience to care for and root for the heroines in their respective quests, along with having gorgeous music to go along with the lyrics. Another huge part of this genre is another type of musical number, the villain song. It's basically a song from the movie's antagonist, which can help set up their motivations for doing something evil in the story or detailing their evil plan to the audience. With the exception of Snow White, each of these movies has a villain song. The Little Mermaid has Poor Unfortunate Souls, sung by the film's villain Ursula. Beauty and the Beast has Gaston, sung by the film's villain Gaston along with other characters including his sidekick LeFou. The Swan Princess has No More Mr. Nice Guy, sung by the villain Rothbart. And Anastasia has In the Dark of the Night, which is sung by Rasputin. The villain song is considered just as important for the antagonist as the I Want song is to the protagonist because it helps the viewers understand why they do what they do along with giving the villain more depth, since they need that as much as the hero. Another recurring trope that I've noticed with these fantasy musical animated movies is the fantastical sidekicks in the story. These characters serve different purposes, such as being the comic relief, being helpers to the protagonists, and also being a marketable part of the film. In Snow White, there are the titular 7 dwarfs. In The Little Mermaid, we have Sebastian the Crab, Flounder, and the seagull named Scuttle. In Beauty and the Beast, we have the sentient objects in the castle including Lumiere the Candle, a clock named Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, her son Chip, and many others. In The Swan Princess, we have Speed the Turtle, Gene Bob the Frog, and Lieutenant Puffin, who is, well, a puffin. In Anastasia, there is a white bat named Bartok. While 3 of these movies feature talking animals, Snow White featured small dwarfs, while Beauty and the Beast featured sentient objects in the castle who were once human beings. Anastasia uses this trope in the most unique way out of the 5 movies, because the animal sidekick is actually the sidekick to the villain rather than to the protagonist. A big theme in this genre is the romance aspect. These are typically between the princess who wants more and the handsome prince of the tale. Their relationship works best when it develops throughout the film with the help of the writing and the song numbers, as it makes their happily ever after feel very satisfying. In Snow White, it's Snow White and the prince. In The Little Mermaid, it's Ariel and Eric. In Beauty and the Beast, it's Belle and the Beast. In The Swan Princess, it's Princess Odette and Prince Derek. In Anastasia, it's Anastasia and Dimitri. I believe that out of these 5 movies, Anastasia is the most unique of the bunch. Dimitri isn't a typical Prince Charming, but rather a con man, and by the end, he and Anya have an elopement, which is a marriage that's held in secret. And of course, you can't have romance in an animated fantasy musical movie without having a true love's kiss. Anyway, that's all for this video. I would love to know what you guys thought about this video, and I would also like to ask 2 questions. What is your favorite fantasy musical animated film? And what's your favorite trope associated with this genre? Comment down below to let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.